Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 8-year-old Bridgeport student hit by truck dies in hospital. The 8-year-old Bridgeport primary student who was hit by a motor truck outside his school on Friday has died. The police say little Dilshan McLean of Caymanas Estate, Spanish Town in St. Catherine died in hospital. A little girl who was also injured in the crash was hospitalized in serious but stable condition. About 1:50 p.m. on Friday, a Toyota Hiace motor truck was traveling along Germain Road towards the Southborough roundabout when Dilshan and the girl walked into the path of the vehicle. The students both suffered serious injuries and were rushed to hospital, where Dilshan died while undergoing treatment. The driver of the motor truck has been warned for prosecution. Portland Village still in disbelief following chopping death. When Nadine Thompson was a child, her twin died, and she said her older brother Tyrone Thompson, much to her solace, assumed the role as her twin brother. Tyrone was 2 years older, and they shared a unique bond, being the only two among their 6 siblings who shared the same mother and father. But since March 3rd, she has since been left in agony after 26-year-old Tyrone was chopped to death in their community of Shrewsbury District in Portland. Me and my brother have a bond. Them take him from me. I don't remember my brother being a warmonger. He's always jovial and smiling and laughing. He's always running jokes. I really shake up bad. I don't know when I am going to get over this. I am just living with the memory because me not go see him again. Every day me have to cry. Every night me have to cry. It's really hard. It was 8 of us as siblings, and we are the only ones with the same mom and dad, Nadine told reporters last Tuesday. My dad just a ball straight because he was my father's only son. My mother is not talking and hardly eating because she is shocked. Me faint 3 times. There is a picture and I can't even look at it. Me beg them to not send it to my phone. Me maybe just catch heart attack and dead. Nadine, a vendor, said she ran away from her goods after hearing the news of her brother's passing. From my brother die, me can't do nothing. Me spent $25,000 by load, and when I got the news, I was so shocked that I run left everything, every single thing. And from that, I don't make back a dime. I have my 2 children to take care of, and I just can't make any money. It's rough. It's really shocking. Me can't understand. It coming like say, them in a one dream world right now, and me no wake up yet, she lamented. I took him as my twin. We were close. I took Poochie Man as my twin brother. Them take him from me. If you are chop him somewhere where you can carry him go doctor no, but you have to chop off his head. Tyrone, also known as Poochie Man, was a mason whom residents told reporters was highly respected even by elders because of his resourcefulness. He made coffin, him well, him fix gate, him fix everything. He is a hard-working youth, an elderly man said. Reports are that about 2 a.m. on March 3rd, Tyrone was at a party at Fruitfulville District when an argument developed between him and Calvert Blackwood, otherwise called Ada, of Beans Lane in Shrewsbury District. Police said that Thompson left the party for home and on his way was allegedly met and attacked by Blackett, who reportedly chopped him to death with a machete. The police urged Blackett to surrender himself as he was being sought for questioning. On Tuesday, March 8, Blackett was arrested and charged with murder. When reporters visited the community on Tuesday, residents said that the event was not a party but instead a candlelight for a woman who had recently passed away in the community. The residents also claimed that Tyrone and Blackett were good friends. The 2 of them are my friends, a good youth them, so this is just crazy to me. I can't believe it all now. They're my friend. I don't understand what happened. I can't believe friend can't do that to a friend, a man said. Nadine told reporters that she is just as baffled. My brother cook and give the guy food from Monday, him fix him bike and him Wednesday, and this happened on Thursday morning. Me can't understand. Them never have a friction. Them never have a war, she said. Veron Cook's Tyrone aunt had a shop in the community. She told reporters that he was with her for the majority of the night before she learned that he died. We are close even to the night of his death. He was right here with me. Right here. He's just a nice person. When you see him, You see him with a smile, and there's nothing you ask him to do, and he said no. If him even have the time, he would say, all right, auntie, I will try. He would be the first person to come and wake you in the morning. That's the type of person he is, she said emotionally. It's not really easy. It's really hard to cope with it. He wasn't the type of person who make war, and if you know that his own friend do this to him, it's rough. Cooks recalled, a lady died and it was her candlelight. He and her friends were on the road drinking, and when their chaser was finished, they came into the shop to buy more. She said about 1:30 a.m. she realized he had left and was wondering where to, because he seemed to have been drunk. About 2 o'clock, my phone rang and my sister said, "Poachy man get chop up." I told them, rush with him go hospital, and she was saying no vehicle no one to carry him. So I am saying maybe because he had blood. So open up the back of a van, spread piece of tarpaulin and put him in there. She called back after 3 and said he's still there. I believe it was just a minor chop and he might wait until daylight to go stitch it up, Cook said. But unfortunately, she learned the gravity of the situation when she heard someone crying out loudly about 5 a.m. The person that cried and I said, "Poachy dead." That's how we rushed to the house and see him lie down on the ground, and the police was there too. My sister never tell me say him dead. I didn't know it was so serious, she reported. Cook said her sisters is still reeling from the loss. It had been hard because every minute she cried, but she is trying. Kingston man charged with murder. A 22-year-old Kingston man has now been charged with the February 26 murder of Mario Grant of James Street that occurred on Sutton Street, the capital city. Garfield Gordon, otherwise called Tristan, of Linston Road, Kingston CSO, has also been charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The Kingston Central Police say between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., Grant was on duty at Sutton Street when he was attacked by Gordon and other men who were armed with handguns, machetes, and knives. The men tied Grant's hand and took him to the back of the compound, where they stabbed and trapped him in his head, chest, and face, then shot him in his neck, killing him on the spot. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. On Thursday, March 24, an operation was conducted in the area and Gordon was taken into custody. He was charged based on an eyewitness statement. Gordon's court date is being finalized. Painful flashbacks. Father tormented by murder of 8-year-old son. Stepfather gets life in prison for offense. Imagine seeing the body of your beloved 8-year-old son sinking underwater with his hands bound every time you shower. That has been the grim reality for Dudley Buchanan since his son Galen was killed in a devilish and callous manner by his stepfather Arquette Rose, who was upset with the child's mother Tamara Lewis for ending their love affair. The 42-year-old auto mechanic who claimed the mother's betrayal had pushed him to throw his stepson into the Kingston Harbor on January 23, 2020, was sentenced in the Home Circuit Court to life imprisonment for Galen's murder, with a stipulation that he serves 27 years and 10 months before being eligible for parole. The young boy was at home watching television and eating the last meal for his dad when Rose lured him away under the guise that he was going to buy him ice cream. 2 days after he went missing, his body was found by fishermen in the harbor. Before the sentence was handed down, Justice Anne-Marie Lawrence Kerner told Dunkley's victim impacted statement, shared that he has been experiencing constant torment even in simple things such as bathing. The father said for the rest of his life, he can never forget this, something that will remain with him, and that even when he bathes, a simple everyday activity, he sees Galen, and he sees him with his hands tied underwater, and he is constantly tormented. This is something that no parent should ever have to deal with, the judge read with agreeing. He said he is destroyed inside, and that Rose should never be allowed to repeat this atrocity on the society. No more productive leader should have their lives cut short by heartless persons. The distraught father also shared that he had a very close relationship with his son, whom he described as being very honest, extremely sensitive and happy, and lamented the way in which Rose had betrayed his son's trust in him. After the sentence was handed down, Dunkley, who immediately lit up a cigarette, said that he was pleased with the decision, and that it was in line with what he had expected. Galen's mother, Tamara Lewis, was equally pleased with the sentence. "I pray night and day, we put God before, and I say my tears not going down in vain, because my baby very innocent we deserve this death. Better indeed sick and dead," she said, smiling through her pain. Mother whose children died in a fire granted bail. Maisie Walters, the mother of 2 infants who perished in a fire in Hayesville in Racecourse, Clarendon on March 24, was granted bail in the sum of $800,000 when she appeared in the Clarendon Parish Court. The 27-year-old mother is answering to the charge of negligence under Section 9 of the Child Care and Protection Act in relation to the death of her daughters, 4-year-old Kayla Tomlinson and 3-year-old Abigail Tomlinson. Reports from the Exeter Police are that at about 11 a.m., residents reported they saw the house on fire and alerted them. The fire department was also alerted. After members of the fire department carried out cooling down operations, the charred remains of Kayla and Abigail were seen among the debris. Walters is being represented by attorney at law Nicole Ferguson. The Crown is alleging that Miss Walters neglected her children, which resulted in their physical injuries and death, Ferguson reported. "We are confident that Miss Walters is not guilty of the offense. I hasten to say, however, that this was a real tragic situation, and we don't want to minimize it, but I'll be representing Miss Walters as we go along, and I'm sure at an appropriate time, the court will hand down an appropriate ruling," Ferguson added. Walters is to return to court on June 3rd. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.